Hello and welcome to episode 25 of my informative playthrough of Pathfinder Kingmaker. Now this is going to be a little bit of a filler episode because there's two people I want to talk to, and I kind of want to do that before setting out. The first one is essential, that's the Storyteller, who I've been talking about quite a lot, and the second one is, since I wanted to make this into a full episode, I was going to bundle in talking to Tristan, who is the last of our companions we haven't spoken to. But first of all, we're going to talk to Hasuf, who is one of our merchants. So let's see what you have, buddy. And you will notice 23,394 gold. I have sold everything I had in the stash for cash. Like, no point in hanging on to it. Basically liquidated all our assets, and I'm going to buy one thing, and it's a bit of a luxury. It's not really needed because this is only a +1 tower shield, but I'm going to buy Valerie, this flame guard. It's a since she's now level 5, she can use a tower shield without attack bonus penalty, and just it feels mean to deprive her of flame guard there. So that's 8,000 gold, which is, like I said, an extravagance, but one which I will put up with. So we can just see. We can give Valerie there, and we could just reclaim that because there's no need, and we'll give that to Harem. There we go, buddy. Enjoy. Kaessi needs to swap to a mace. So, first off, before we talk to Tristan, there's one other person, and that's to talk to Kaessi, who asked us to visit her. So, yeah, she seems a bit perturbed, and you'll notice something very strange happens there. Her eyes change color. There's some strange portal. Anyway, chaotic good. What's going on? Yes. Why did he even make this rule if he knew it would be impossible to keep? Stranger and stranger. Yeah. That the person you know as Kaessi does not exist. My real name is Kaliki, and well, it's a long story, and such stories are better told beside a welcoming fire. Will you hear me out? Right, let's go. Up we go upstairs with blue-eyed Kaliki. So, yes. She's from a desert region. Anyway, there's this is setting the scene, okay? Yeah. Anyway, she has a sister, that's key. And yeah, they didn't have a particularly wealthy upbringing. Outcast. I mean, being a tiefling, tieflings are not really treated very well at all. Due to having fiendish blood, they are generally considered to be tainted. And so Kaliki's sister, they're twins. This is Canera. And they're both kineticists. So Kaliki is a water-based kineticist, and Canera is a fire-based kineticist. Kineticists are really cool, like blasters. Yes. So, despite our differences, we are one. Our lives belong to divine Nethys, and by his mercy we now live in turns. While one of us is here, the other sleeps in another plane, and when she wakes up we switch places, just as you witnessed. Nethys is quite interesting, god of magic, and driven insane by seeing too much, and he's considered to be a god of two halves. Like, on the one hand, knowledge and creation through magic, and on the other hand, the use of magic for destruction. Also, notably, never talks to his followers, or very rarely talks to them, and they're quite pleased with that because kind of sets them apart from other clerics who commune directly with their god, except people like Harem who do not. Anyway, So because of this dual people in one position, that's why he didn't remember us. And yes, so if you remember in the Aldori mansion, Kaliki, or Kaessi as we saw her, seemed to not know what was going on. And that was just this sort of shift. So Kinera switched for Kaliki, who was like, "Who are you?" And that's why she was doing water blasts instead of fire blasts. Yeah. So, and these switches happen, spontaneously. Like, it's very hard to control them, or it's impossible to control them. They just happen. Anyway, how is it you begin to live in turns? So it's a long story basically, and she doesn't want to go into details. But they died. Her sister died, eaten by a soul eater, a secret follower of Abaddon's archdemons. Yes, and yeah. So it killed her, and she made a deal with Arcanothane, and yeah, the Herald of Nethys, and promised to return Kinera to life, but needed to keep it secret, and that it was this strange dual life. So it's a very odd duality, which kind of fits with Nethys's own duality, and you can't control these switches. No, they most often happen while we're sleeping, but often just regularly. Yeah. And so you've broken this rule, and yeah, hopefully they won't come to regret it. Anyway, neutral good. What can I do to help? And they talk about this ancient treasure, and Kinera. That's what she sort of lured us in with at the Aldori mansion the second time when we were being coronated, when we were attending the coronation. So this ancient relic from Taldan Raiders. So yeah, there's this disc of the eclipse, would hopefully help them gain some control over this swapping, being a relic of Nethys. Yes, so yeah, so it gave the owners control over planar travel, and hopefully they're hoping that this would enable them to have some control over their swapping over. And yes, Nethys and his assistants value the desire to understand the mysteries of magic above all else. So they're kind of banking on the fact that they can fiddle with this deal if it's through gaining knowledge. Yes. How did it come to be in the Stolen Lands? Yada yada yada. They came with the 5th Army of Exploration, and that's a long time ago. And it somehow was abandoned here. Anyway, where is it? And so they give us this location, Sorrowflow, which is a long way away. And the problem is, even though you're given this quest immediately, and this is a DLC quest for a new companion, or really 2 new companions as it's revealed, the location is in a really dangerous area. It's a long way, comparatively, through areas where you can be ambushed by enemies that are too high for our level 5. I mean, you can get by if you're willing to reload, but if you're looking for something reload safe, it really isn't. It's, having got to this point, I would never chance it at a low level. So we're going to delay doing this a bit. The downside to that is you need to do it early enough that you've got enough time to sort some other stuff out. So there are some long quests that. There is a quest that requires a very long time frame to complete that comes after we do this. So you can't leave it too long, otherwise you won't have enough time to complete that particular quest. But we're going to try and strike the middle ground. But we're definitely going to need to be level 7 before we go on this adventure, in my estimation. Anyway, if this can help, I agree. Yeah, good stuff. So she says she'll wait there. The other thing is we have to do it just one of the sisters and ourselves, and we're not really equipped for doing, low level, solo or duo stuff. Our Alice's character is very much a team player. Relies on her teammates to do a lot of the heavy lifting. Anyway, that's the DLC, and we can't open this chest. It's got a diary in it. But yeah. Anyway, they've gone off to Sorrowflow, and we will see them again in quite a few videos. Anyway, I'm not going to talk to Tristan because I'd forgotten I was going to talk to Kaessi, or Canera and Kaliki. So this is the quest we get. Travel to the Taldaean ruins. We're going to talk to the Storyteller, and that will be the total of this video.
Friendship lasts forever.
So back into our throne room, and this is one of the longer loading times in the game. The Storyteller, he's going to give us a lot of money. So if we check, we've got 15,000 and a bit. Here he is. So he looks like a very old elf, about as old as an elf can look. More this portrait than this appearance here. And old elves, seeing an old elf is very unusual, because elves live so long that a lot of people don't think they even can get old. Yeah. And he's blind as well. Yeah. But he knows it's us. So how could you tell it was me? And he just says that that barons or rulers walk in a particular way. Yes. Anyway, who are you? I'm an elf from Keonin. My name is not important. I'm the Storyteller, collector of stories. I collect unknown legends of ancient times. So he was a smith, which is why he can reforge artifacts for us. But yes, he stepped onto the path of the adventurer to gather these legends. Essentially a historian. But a historian, an oral historian. Yes. Only legends can still tell us of their triumphs and defeats, their joys and fears. I would be so interested to hear the stories told about us after our demise. And so he's been drawn here because of the new barony and because of the opportunity for both new stories and old stories. So we can ask about his age. Do other elves age like you have? And yes, he theorizes that he's actually the oldest elf of Kaonin, at least. Like possibly elves in other planes, other regions, hidden places might be older. But yeah, and also he doesn't think his age alone is responsible for his appearance, and that perhaps it is the weight of all these stories that he has collected that have given him his aged appearance. Yeah, but somebody, he again, potentially something keeps him alive because of his historian role. We can ask him if he'll be an advisor, and in fact later on he will, but currently he says no. He says he can advise on magic, and we have no slot for a magical arcane advisor at the moment. But in the future, he'll come in handy. Anyway, would you care to trade stories with me? And he's not a trader. He doesn't actually like sharing them because he kind of feels they'll be diluted. So yeah, he won't trade. But because of the importance of his stories, he kind of feels that to share them may well dilute the importance. but he offers us an alternative. If we discover items that come from eras past, bring them to me, and he'll share their stories with us, which is great. And also, he can reforge things. So first of all, I found shards of an ancient artifacts. This is our necklace of double crosses, our shards of or fragments of a burned necklace. So, see what you can do, buddy. Yes. They carry an inglorious story. Allow me to tell the tale as I restore it. I expect the story will amuse you, and perhaps even give you some food for thought. So, off you go, restore the necklace. Yes, so not every legend speaks of heroic feats. Some tell of atrocities and wicked things. I will breathe my gift into this necklace, that it may tell you something of itself. So, we get this. And there's a long story here. And if you'd like to read that, feel free to pause. But this is what we're looking at here. So first off, it provides a bonus to trickery, stealth, and mobility. So it kind of seems clear. It's designed for a sneaky rogue type character. Melee attacks against flat-footed opponents deal 2d6 sneak attack damage. Okay, so if you attack someone who's flat-footed, you're going to do an extra 2d6 damage, which is great. And that applies for any character. It's not just characters that already have sneak attack. The downside, when an ally moves away from the wearer in battle, the amulet forces the wearer to make an attack of opportunity against that ally. And I think that puts a lot of people off. They're worried that they will be attacking their allies. However, if you commit to the battle, and you're not in the habit of pulling people out, then you can get a lot of value out of this, because an extra 2d6 damage, can be really, really good. So, we're in fact going to give this to Valerie. For now, you wouldn't think it. Tower shield wearing Valerie is going to be doing a small amount of sneak attack damage, and we can then pass off the nymph's gift to someone else. It doesn't really matter at this stage. There's no one who I think is going to benefit amazingly from a +2 dodge bonus to ranged AC. So yeah. And finally, we not only collected the Necklace of Double Cross parts, but we also collected the Restavik story artifacts. So we brought some relics. Are they worthy of a story? And this is a really interesting story, actually. So, first of all, he will take all those coins and collectibles we've got, and you see, we get a big chunk of gold. So these are pre-coral coins, and still valuable. Secondly, the tokens of the Dryad's marks, a lot of money. Thirdly, the one ancient Cyclops coin, I believe. So this is so long ago, before almost everything, back before Earthfall. And the Taldan Warriors dog tags. This is from the it was mentioned by Kaliki. This Taldan expedition, and yes, and finally, we get a little story from those Restavik items. So this is an expedition of heroes from Brevoy going to the drowned trees. So, tell us. And it's great. Maybe I'll read the whole thing out. I hear rowlocks creaking, river water splashing, bushes rustling, and arrows singing through the air. I feel an invincible will, a cold resolution to finish what has been started, no matter the cost. My chain armor clings to my body, and my young hands grip a sword tightly. I am the leader of a group of brave souls, set off to the stolen lands to clear them from bandits, once and for all. And also we get gold and experience, which is very nice. We sail on a large freight boat. It serves as bait for the bandits, who keep throwing themselves at it, only to find death, a death as inglorious as the life they've lived. From time to time we manage to capture a prisoner. While our Inquisitor talks to them, I go to the stern, shutting my ears to their cries. I remind myself that these are scum, drenched in the blood to the elbow. I think upon our cause, freedom for my homeland, an independent Rossland, but still, my goosebumps rise with each pitiful cry. I must steel myself and be strong. Why do you question these prisoners? The bandits attacking our boat are small fry. We're looking for their main lair, a place known as the Drowned Trees. We seek the leader of the bandits, an underwater monster named Dargut Droom, and we will not leave without his head. Who is in your group? A paladin, a ranger, a sorceress, a priest, an inquisitor, and me, a fighter, all experienced combatants. Over and over we've saved each other's lives in times of need. And have there always been so many bandits in the Stolen Lands? This land swarms with them, and we meet them more often than common merchants. You see, we started a rumour that the Aldori swordlords are using this boat to sneak treasures out of the country. Now half the gangs in the area are hunting us. At night, it seems a whole army is attacking our boat. Far too many for us to fend off. But luckily, we don't have to. While they battle monsters we've summoned in pitch-black magical darkness, we drink potions we've prepared and dive under the water. The scum break into the hold, but instead of treasure, they find their final surprise. The work of a Restovic alchemist, a trap, a dozen barrels of highly explosive oils. We watch from a safe distance as the boat is blown to pieces in a deafening explosion. Everything has gone according to plan. The more who die here, the fewer we'll meet in the Drowned Trees. We march through the forest, then camp to regain our strength. Their nest is close. Our Inquisitor discovered everything, even the location of their secret entrance. Today we rest. Tomorrow the Bandit King will draw his final breath. Even if you sneak into the bandit camp unseen, how will you handle all of them? Each of us is worth 24 in battle. Besides, we are well prepared. Chaos, confusion, and summoned monsters will be by our side. And fire. Lots of fire. What kind of secret entrance? An underwater path, winding along the swamp bottom. We had potions to breathe freely under the water. We couldn't see beyond our outstretched arms in the muddy water, and there were plenty of traps along the way, but the Inquisitor learned all the signs that marked the safe passage. At least we believed she did. We trudged through muddy waters. Suddenly, a giant log studded with blades falls from above. I managed to stagger back, but the paladin who walked alongside me is now a gory sight, spread thin across the ground. The next moment a monstrous creature emerges from the darkness, a twisted cross between fish and monkey. Its clawed hands reach out, effortlessly melting away the Inquisitor's flesh, then ripping out her heart. This is the king of the bandits, Dargut Droon. The bandit we captured did not lie, but the secret passage he spoke of led right into the underwater lair of his master. I bury my terror deep in my soul. There was no time for weakness. There were only 4 of us left, and we are gasping for air by the time the freak's lifeblood stains the water. We leave the beheaded body on dry land, then retreat and recover. Only now I allow my hands to tremble, my breath to race unbidden, my tears to flow. What kind of monster was this Dargut Droon? They say he was once a normal human, but he offended a powerful fae. She cursed him, turning him into a monster, but one bestowed with the ability to breathe underwater and melt human flesh with his touch. With these powers, he became the Bandit King. And it's interesting. We're talking about powerful fae, female, cursed him. You know, with the curses, we know a powerful fae. You know, her relationship with the Stag Lord has been alluded to. Her relationship with the cursed region of the stolen lands has been alluded to. It's all history of this region. Anyway. Do you find anything useful in Dargot's lair? Oh yes, the Bandit King was a true collector of magical items. We lost 2 of our friends, but what we found there would help us finish what we started. So the bandit wanted to set you up, but he played right into your hands? You could say so. Dargot Druin didn't expect an armed party to appear before him, but we too were unprepared for the encounter. The bandit's lie cost both sides dearly. The next night we return the same way. We swim up to the surface and quietly gather our bearings. Above us loom the drowned trees, enormous dead trunks emerging from the water. Bridges crisscross their branches. The air is filled with the sound of battle. Having lost their king, the bandits now battle each other for power, and we are ready to join the fight. We leave at dawn. Behind us, smoke rises up to the sky. The bandits' nest smoulders and blazes. Only 2 of us remain, the priest and I. We've won, but this victory tastes of ash. Cinders and swamp ooze. I ask him, tell me, Esvanki, was it worth it? He puts his hand on my shoulder and says, yes, Jamandi. Now the stolen lands will be ours. I wish to believe him. So, the twist. Of course, this is Jamandi Aldori and Esvanki, who we met during the coronation as well, the cleric of Erastil. Thus the expedition to the drowned trees came to an end. I must admit, it was no easy feat for me to stand in the place of this daring woman. The steel of her soul was colder than ice. Wait, is this the story of Jamandi Aldori? But she's still alive. It's like, yes, some people become legends in their own lifetime. And yeah, so that's quite nice. Anyway, if this is again an important point. If Jamandi Aldori has once cleared the stolen land of bandits, why must we do so all over again? And yes, this weakened the bandits, but not for long. And the paladin who died was supposed to claim the stolen lands due to his noble birth, and basically tried to perform a resurrection, but or find another candidate, but new bandits emerged, including the Stag Lord. Within a year, the stolen lands was swarming with gangs once more. Anyway, thanks, buddy. That's cool. And we'll be coming back to the Storyteller, so I'll select some of these other options in the future. I'll leave you to your legends till we meet again. And you can see now we've got 27,000 gold, which is nice. That's a lot of gold. So I'm going to finish the video here. And in the next video, we'll do a small amount of kingdom management. And then we'll set off to do some fighting.